Hello. Creator bless. No, I shouldn't say that. Bless, all that is a word that means be less. As in, not being what you can completely become. That's where bless comes from. Seeing beyond the veil. When most people look or read or get their hands on any book, it's read. They'll read it, they'll interpret it the way they want, which is fine. I have no problem with that. The same with me. I interpret things the way I want. However, when it comes to something like, I don't know, Lucifer, Satan, Christ, do you know what they are really talking about is the question. Some want to claim a fallen angel. Some want to claim a savior. Well, Lucifer, the light bringer, i.e. the S-U-N, just like T-W-O, is sometimes spelled T-O-O, and they don't mean the same thing, but they sound alike. That's where we get this concept of S-U-N and S-O-N. Remember, what we were translating from the Jewish text has no vowels. It shows G. And then after G, it says D. There is no G-O-D. It does not say G-O-O-D. It says G-D. No vowels. So, when you say son, S-O-N, and thinking that it is the birth of man, you are incorrect. Because you're mistaking S-U-N for S-O-N, because this is what they want you to think. Not that it's true, not that it's accurate. This is what they want you to think. They want you to worship this concept of this entity that came from the heavens above and fell to earth. The morning sun. He's the one who brought the light, or the S-U-N, the red, orange, and yellow object called the sun. So when you worship Lucifer or Satan or Christ, what you're doing is you're paying homage to a light in the sky. That thing is small. That thing is close. That thing only takes 24 hours to go from noon to noon. Alright, using that same concept, it takes anywhere from 969 hours to 720 hours for the moon to go from noon to noon, or full moon to full moon. There's two lights, not one. That's why you have a red and blue shift. Not because some shit someone pulled out of their ass and said, oh, this is what I think. You have two lights focused in on one crystal, i.e. a prism. You're not going to be able to tell which light comes from where. Doesn't work that way. You're too far small. Imagine it this way. You have this thing way up here, and you're looking at it from way down here like a little bitty ant. Alright? But you have it way up here. You're not going to be able to tell if you're the damn ant looking up at this thing. There is no way for you to take your dick out and measure from the earth to the sun. There is no way to measure from Earth to Pluto. There is no way to measure this. And if you think there is, you're stupid. I mean, I can measure how much distance it is from here to Los Angeles, from Dallas-Fort Worth area to Los Angeles. That I can actually measure. That is measurement. I cannot tell you exactly, 100%, how high those clouds are above your head. I can guess with an altitude meter, depending on what it says. I can guess without the string there, without something there to measure the length. You're taking a guess, and guesses aren't facts. When you guess, you pretend. It's not real. So when these idiots claim that, oh, the sun is millions and millions of miles away, whose fucking dick did they use? Or are you being taught a religion? Because this scientist claimed this, we have to praise this scientist. We have to worship his feet. No. This is what that shit is. If you can't prove it, it's a fucking religion. They want to claim Christ is this entity that was born on earth, yet they want to call him the morning sun. They want to call him a savior. With what I've been able to do in my life, I don't know if he was or if he wasn't. I know there is a creator. That I know for sure. I mean, let me give you an example of how their math works. I give you a live rabbit, and you tell me that you can split it into 2 pieces and give me half, and it'll be half the rabbit. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. I give you a live animal, you cut it in half, and no matter what you do to put those 2 halves together again, you'll never get that fucking rabbit alive unless you add something else. So it's 0.5 plus 0.5 plus something in order to get that rabbit back alive. You cannot tell me that 0.5 is half when you ignore half the problem to start with. When you ignore half the information which you need to start with, you're going to end up at a false conclusion. Because it's 0.5 plus 0.5 plus something to get that rabbit alive again. Doesn't matter if you have both parts, you can put both parts back together. Guess what? That rabbit ain't going to hop. So you can prove to me that you killed something, you took something away to start with, and then you divide the carcass into 2 pieces and tell me that, oh no, it's half. No, it's less than what it was to start with. Less than half of what it was to start with. Because it's not alive. It's dead. You had to kill it to start with in order to get 0.5 plus 0.5 to equal 1. And it doesn't even equal 1 there. Problem is that most people look at it and are not smart enough to come to that conclusion. And they'll look at it and go, oh no, that's correct, because some terrorist in some school somewhere said that it was right and that we have to worship these gods of numbers. God didn't give numbers. Numbers were made by man. They are sigils, just like the fucking pentagram. Letters, alphabets, numbers, plus, minus, subtract, divide. They are sigils. They are magic signs to convince you to look into the magic that they want to push. Not that it's real. It's an illusion. It is an illusion set by those individuals who do not want you to see the truth. They do not want you to see past the veil, because that means that what they're claiming and all the information they have from scientist after scientist after scientist after scientist is wrong. I mean, a stop clock is right twice a day. Even then, it's only right 1 time out of those 2. and you're dealing with 60 seconds every hour, 24 hours in a day, 60 seconds. Correction, I do apologize. Let me rephrase that. You're dealing with 24 hours in one day. You're dealing with 60 minutes per hour. You are dealing with 60 seconds per minute. And you're going to somehow tell me that the majority of the time it's right and the one time it's wrong? I'm going to look at you and tell you that you're a fucking idiot. And you're going to tell me how, well, the majority of science claims this, claims that. Well, guess what? The stop clock is wrong is right twice a day and is wrong every other time. Without proof, I don't have to disprove you, because you haven't proven anything if your reality is real. You've given me numbers that were made by man, who are taught to you by man, not God, because there's no fucking God on this world that you can tell me that actually wrote those numbers and gave them to man. You can't do it. It can't be done. It's a claim of an insane individual who is no more of a scientist than the fucking town drunk. This is the truth behind the veil, people. Lucifer, Christ, is that red thing in the sky that you want to claim is a sun, S-U-N. It is insanity. That's what it is. It's individuals who get together. Out of 7 billion people, less than 1,000 or 2,000 have been sent to space. And these 2,000 are all Freemasons. They're all part of the same butt-fuck club. And you're telling me that because these people butt-fuck each other, they have proof of what? That they went to space? But only these 1,000 people that have ever been there can claim that? Out of 7 billion people? You're looking at a statistics of 0.0001%, if you're that much. So you're talking about the 1% of the 1% that's been to space about this club or this cult that claims that they have all this stuff they can show. But then again, NASA was started by Nazis. It's a German propaganda machine at the end of World War II, whether you want to admit it or not. Admiral Byrd said that there was more land south. Auguste Piccard in 1931 went 10 miles up, looked around and said that the world was flat. We have billions of dollars we spent with NASA and not a single fucking real picture of the world. None. They're all CGI images. They're all shit people scribbled on a piece of paper. They're chicken shit. It's chicken scratch. Don't tell me how smart they are, because no. Just because a fucking moron tells you that, oh, you're good to be programmed and that you're smart, doesn't mean that you're smart. If you can't prove what you believe, it's a religion. If there's no way to test how far that sun is away from the earth with a physical object, you hypothesize. You're pretending, and it's not real. Look up my 5x5 video. I count five different times and end up with only 5 fingers and not 25. This is how numbers lie. Get it through your head.